Hi, I'm Nikki. Today let's learn how to manage Workday implementation project. Workday Accelerated Deployment Methodology ensures a consistent deployment approach and iterative prototyping. Workday's deployment methodology consists of different phases. Stage 1 Plan Phase. The objectives of the plan stage are to further define the overall project requirements and to develop the procedures and mechanisms required to plan and control the project. Sets the overall direction and approach for managing the project. The plan stage also defines the team members, roles and responsibilities, and the communication plan that will be used throughout the project. The following are the activities associated with the stage plan. Project preparation. A detailed project plan is created that lists the project activities, milestones and deliverables, with assignees and dependencies of each. Project charter is created, that confirms the project's deliverables, deployment approach, and roles and responsibilities. Sets expectations. The governance model for the project is defined, consisting of stakeholder registry and project change control templates and process. Measurement and processes are defined for data privacy guidelines. Scope discovery meetings for identifying functional integration scope in the project. Workstream managers will plan the schedule of discovery sessions that will be needed for each functional area, and for each integration under the respective workstreams. Initial strategy documents for data conversion and integration approach are also drafted. Core team training. Core project team will attend the Workday-provided HCM Fundamentals class. Team will also have access to take other virtual and on-demand training from Workday. Setting up initial prototyping. The first data conversion of the project, the foundation tenant, will be built during the plan stage using basic data provided by core team. Project kickoff. A kickoff meeting with the project team members and project stakeholders. An overview of the project will be shared to confirm that both client and implementation partner have a consistent understanding of project requirements, objectives, and timeframes. Executive sponsorship is formalized, and project communication strategy is shared. Main functional areas to consider in plan phase. Initial review of business process inventory. Review functional configuration approach in Workday Configuration Tracker. Pre-discovery core concepts sessions. The Stage 2 Architect Phase. The architect stage of a Workday deployment enables client and implementation partners' project team members to come to a common understanding of business requirements and business processes and scope. Core concepts discovery sessions are scheduled in order to gain an initial understanding of each functional area. Detailed design sessions in which business requirements are gathered, design decisions are made, and the inputs required to configure Workday are captured. For each integration and scope, discovery sessions will be used for initial integration specification requirements gathering. Upon completion of these sessions, design documents will be created for each integration. Fit gap analysis. Identify fit gap exercise between future state and Workday. It serves to identify what workarounds are necessary to bridge any gaps and minimize risk. Also document key current state capabilities business process flows versus future state business process flows. Maturity matrix. Document scale of key processes and maturity based on industry standards. Automating. Identify key processes that need to be automated. Informing. Widespread use of prediction and insight. Discovering. New way of working and doing business. Transforming. Every facet of organization is reshaped around intelligence, from the core business model and how employees are engaged, to the composition of the workforce itself and the skills that employees possess. Test strategy. Complete a test plan document that describes the purpose of each test cycle and the responsibilities of the key resources in each test cycle. Data conversion approach. The document details the data conversion strategy, approach, validation, and timeline. Configuration tenant. Develop an operating prototype of client production system by converting worker data, enabling the default configuration of the setup data, and having client validate the data's accuracy. This is the second data collection and loading iteration. This tenant is then used as the primary workspace for performing system configuration. Stage 3: Configure and Prototype. Main objective. The configure and prototype stage of the Workday deployment takes the outputs of the architect stage to configure the system, and prototype the in-scope functionality. Functional configuration. Configurations of structural data, business process, and security requirements are performed. Functional unit testing. This is an informal test of the configuration and business processes, in order to confirm readiness for the formal system test cycle and the test stage of the project. Integration build. In-scope integrations will be built according to specifications in the design documents that were created in the architect stage. Integration unit test. In-scope integrations will be unit tested according to specifications in the design documents that were created in the architect stage. Test preparation. A series of documents that describe testing methods. What components of the Workday service will be tested. How they will be tested. The processes and procedures of how elements of the system will be tested and issues resolved are documented. Each report identified as part of the project scope will be created and unit tested. Localization sessions. Iterative prototyping and configuration sessions for local requirements is performed during this stage. End-to-end tenants. Develop an operating prototype of production system containing the in-scope employee data and configurations. The deployment workbook will be used for the data conversion activities. This is the third data collection and loading iteration and will be used in the test phase. Working prototype of the final Workday system, in a test environment ready for testing. Confirmation sessions. Reviews of the functionality now that it has been designed, configured, and unit tested. This is the final walkthrough of the working prototype prior to system changes being frozen and the test stage beginning. Stage 4 test. Data validation. By comparing data in the current client source systems, the business analyst will validate that the data in Workday is accurate and complete. The test stage consists of 4 separate efforts. End-to-end testing. A series of test conditions documented and executed to confirm the operation of the configured Workday service and all integrations, utilizing scenarios that span all end-to-end processes and integrations. Any issues that arise will be noted and resolved prior to going into production. User Acceptance Test, UAT. A series of testing scenarios conducted by selected users to confirm the operation of the Workday service. A UAT condition list helps verify all criteria are tested. Formal sign-off is required. Parallel testing. Develop an operating prototype of client production system containing the in-scope employee data and configurations. The deployment workbook will be used for the data conversion activities. This is the 4th data collection and loading iteration. Performance testing. Perform isolation performance testing and full schedule testing. Deploy preparation. Detailed cutover planning is performed to finalize a daily cutover plan for the production cutover. Stage 5. Deploy. Once it has met the exit criteria for the test stage, the project will move to the deploy stage. This stage consists of the steps to move the Workday service into production. This occurs when training for client end users is completed, transactions are no longer entered into the legacy system, a final data load to Workday is completed and validated, and a go-live checklist is completed prior to cutover. Train end users. Following the training plan, execute the training activities defined in earlier stages. Ensure appropriate policies and procedures are updated. Gold tenant. Import into the pre-production tenant the contents of the completed deployment workbook. Any manual configuration changes that need to be performed will be performed. This is the 5th and final data conversion effort. Production data conversion and configuration. Client core team will validate that all configuration and worker data conversion has been completed in the pre-production tenant. Transition to production. Final prototype of the final Workday system, in a pre-production environment ready to be moved into the production environment. Upon authorization, gold tenants can be moved to production. Stage 6, Post-production support. During this stage, implementation partner will provide post-production support to monitor the configuration is functioning per the requirements in production. Each integration must run in production 2 times. After 2 runs in production, the integration is deemed complete. Client core team is responsible for any ongoing maintenance of the integration. Functional post-go-live support. Respond to and help resolve identified application issues that are found during the post-go-live support period. This will be performed on an ad hoc basis until 1 month past the rollout of the system to end users. Note: payroll consultants respond to and help resolve identified material issues that are found during the first 2 payroll runs in production. Upon the expiration of the post-go-live support period from Stage 6, post-production support, the work shall be completed.